Hey tribe, Sally here. Hope you're having an amazing and fascinating day. Welcome back to another Quartzsite season video. In this video, I'm going to share with you some of the quirky things that you can find around Quartzsite and some of the differences in this year versus last year when you consider all of the activity that happens around the big tent. So let's go ahead and roll the intro and then we're going to get right into this.
Wake up with the sun in our eyes. Sally forth, no need for goodbyes. Journey calls, let's roll the dice. Every mile a new surprise.
These scenes were shot near where I was camped in La Posa South, and this was actually shot on January 18th, so the big tent was in full swing, and you can see so are these people pretty much crammed in on top of each other. The LTVA rule is that you can park within 15 feet of somebody else, and if you wanted to be any closer than that, then you have to have their permission. These people apparently had each other's permission because some of them were less than 15 feet apart, and there's lots of them. And this is not terribly far from where I've been camped all season long. A lot of people, a lot of activity going on. And I want to remind you, this is with the big tent in full swing. And what I noticed this season versus last season, and you're going to see that as things progress, is that they came in much later than they typically do. These people were not here on the 15th of January. This was after I came back from my meetup, and they'd all moved in that couple of days worth of time. So it's unusual because my experience has been that typically people would really start to pile in toward the beginning of January, certainly within a week or more of the big tent. And in this case, yeah, they came in just a couple of days before, and wait until the end of this video and see how many are left as of today, which is January 27th. So less than 10 days. And I want you to be able to see what the transition has been. It's been kind of amazing. But there's some cool stuff to see around Quartzsite, and I'm going to share some of that with you as well. So, as always, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for coming along for the ride. Hope you enjoy this video. And, yeah, let's see what else we can see. Jim is sucking up to Kit. It's the bacon opportunity.
Bribing with bacon.
That's right. It's Bribing with Bacon, starring Kit and Jim. There we go. Good job. Good job. Are you taking bites? You taking bites of the bacon? Good boy. What a good boy you are. Sorry, Rufus. Here you have it. Things we do in the desert in the wintertime. We didn't do this. Just saying. But if you look here, made in 2000. Canada, 2008. Interesting. So we got Florida over here, and each of these are labeled. So all the states, oh, look at the Great Lakes. They got gray rocks for the Great Lakes. That's pretty cool. Here's Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, California, and they did a pretty good job of getting the shapes pretty close. I'm impressed. Oh, and here's Hawaii out here, and Alaska up there, along with BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan. What comes after Saskatchewan before Ontario? Can't remember. And then the Great Wild North. All right, I gotta say, this is pretty impressive. And I also gotta say, I'm out here with my friend and neighbor Jim. There's his sidekick. And we decided to just go out and wander around some of the trails and see some things we hadn't seen today. So this is one of those things we'd never seen before. I am quite impressed. And he stood up on the roof of the sidekick and took an overview picture, which I'm going to share with you. Okay, so here's Maine. Oh, so this must be Nova Scotia out here, or Newfoundland. One or the other, something like that. Anyway, I'm very impressed. I really like the Great Lakes, the way that they're laid out, too. Very cool. Okay, so the whole thing was made in 2000 and then they added Canada in 2008. Now I get it. And now you have the rest of the story. All right, I wanted to come see an old western town. And this one seems to be pretty well maintained. I'm thinking. What are you thinking? Howdy. Got the horse and buggy out here. Got the wild animals. Yeah, here, let me give you an overview of the entire town. There we go. What do you think of that, guys? That's pretty cool.
I'm Jim. Jim Cecil.
Want to go rob the bank?
You did all this.
Yeah.
What do you think?
We did this 5 years collection out here.
Yeah, I saw it. DDK traffic.
This is Cecil. It's Cecil that's responsible for all of this, okay? And as I showed you some of the stuff, but he's actually got the lids come off, so to speak.
Some of them do.
So that you can see, whoops, if I can focus, you can see inside. Let's see if we can focus. Focus. We're not focusing. What's going on there? This is the church.
How's the car coming?
Here's the church. Here's the steeple. Open the roof and see all the people. Got the school.
I had the head mill ready to go back together.
The bank looks a little bit like a jail.
Down here, there's a safe in the bottom right corner.
Look at that. Check that out, guys. All right, that's pretty cool. But the bank does look a little bit like a jail, Cecil. I just got to say.
Well, they gotta have bars back then, man. You know.
That's right.
Here, the silver dollar, it was a brothel in the late 1800s out here. This is where I see my first building. The roof didn't come off, but I had so many visitors, and they wanted.
Look at that.
They wanted more than just to look at the building. They wanted me to you know, put all these little trinkets in there. Well, I didn't have any, but a couple from New York had stopped out.
Cool.
And then she had passed away from cancer, and she had all these miniature pieces. Hubby didn't want to get rid of them, but he didn't have nothing to do with them, and he thought he brought me boxes full of little things. And so
wow.
I says, whatever I can use, I would use. And
So how long you been working on this?
5 years.
5 years.
5 years.
How long you been working on it around Quartzsite?
I built every one of them right there on that tabletop.
Cool.
Yep.
And are you in the same location most of the time?
I've been on the same spot for 6 years.
You plan to be here next year?
Absolutely.
All right, then let's give you the lowdown, guys.
Yeah.
So when you come in La Posa South, way over there, that's the entrance. First left, you'll come over the bridge. And we're right over here. You can see it as soon as you come over the bridge. Here's what you're looking for. So come check it out, because it's absolutely worth it. How many hours do you think you have in this, Cecil?
Oh my gosh. Some of these buildings I had 200-300 hours.
Wow.
5 weeks.
Wow.
5 weeks I'd work on them 8 to 10 hours a day. I just got hooked on it 5 days a week.
Cool.
Weekends I would try to.
Well, you got to have something to do, right?
Yeah. You see this one over here? This one is my Long Branch Saloon, which has a kind of a bar.
Oh yeah,
This
check
is
it out.
When everybody wanted, well, do this, do that, do that. And I thought, you know what? I am spending a lot of time just building the buildings. Now you
Very
help me
cool.
decorate.
Yeah.
But you know, everything you see has been donated.
So very cool. So is this?
I can bring you some miniature trees, lighted
Yeah.
trees.
These, these are my bushes. I thought, they're a little green.
Mm-hmm.
Some gentleman brought me these. He does bonsai trees and
Uh-huh.
that kind of settings. But he had a bunch of these he didn't want to throw away. He says, if you can use them, use them. I thought, oh, you bet. It's not exactly the same bush. It's a little too green, but it's,
So I'm curious. Is this a particular town or is this Cecil
This is
town?
my town.
This is Cecil
just
town.
My idea of it was just going to be a Western ghost town, and then like I say, then people wanted more. So this one here, the mercantile, that all got
Let's take a look
a
inside.
little bit of goodies in there.
Oh, look at that.
Anything and everything.
Look at that. Wow.
kind of neat at night. The solar lights come on, so you can really see
Uh-huh.
the detail of the inside.
Haircut, 10 cents.
Yeah, this one here, Gunsmoke. You got Doc Adams was always upstairs,
Yep.
so it's like kind of we call it Doc Adams' place. So he's got a
Let's check this one out.
furnished little apartment up there, and
There we go.
yeah.
Pretty cool.
But yeah, I watch too much Gunsmokes and that kind of stuff.
I grew up on it.
I know it.
I think we all did.
I watch it all the time.
It's the wagon wheel.
This one here, the wagon wheel. Yep, this is my stagecoach, where they built their stagecoaches and wagons.
Let me come around this side. Very cool, very cool. So how long does it take to set you up when you come in for the season?
Well, now that they've sat out for 2 years, I'm gonna have to put a new finish on them. So like next year, it'll take me a month to get them set up. So I'll put a fresh coat of oil on them, just to keep them from drying out too bad. But yeah, it'll take me a couple of 3-4 weeks, but got all these doors that got this.
Yeah, check this out, guys.
Hinges.
And how soon do you come into Quartzsite usually?
I get here early October. When
Early
it's still
October.
hot.
Okay, so think maybe come by mid-October or late October.
Yeah, late October.
And do you have plans for adding any new buildings or anything for next year?
Well, I would hope to get some more, because this is all like 100-year-old barnwood cedar that I get up in the northern woods there. So yeah, I got to collect some more wood, but my car was my project this year because
Take a look at this,
I
guys.
spent a lot of money on that car, and that's my project this year. So I'm really close to getting the engine back together, but that's 46 years old.
Wow.
With the engine in or out?
I'm doing it with the engine in.
Old man edition.
I had it completely worked over. It's a full-blown racing.
Look at this.
So this little car, I got
That's the 280ZX, guys.
I got some engine issues. I only got a half an engine.
Well, half an engine's better than none.
Yeah.
Of course, they aren't usually held in with ratchet straps. Just saying.
No. But all my parts are coming in. I'm just waiting for the head gasket.
Looks like you got a little radiator issue.
This is the old man.
Yeah, I pointed that one out. So what year is this?
It's a 1980 Datsun 280ZX.
Definitely a 280ZX. I knew that right off the bat.
Yep.
1980. Wow.
46 years old, and I've had it for 38 years.
Wow.
But now, I just had that engine built complete last year.
Look at that, guys.
Bored and stroked and all kinds of goodies in it, and that's my second head gasket I took out of it. So I had the work done prior to somebody else. This time I'm doing it. So
do you stay until the bitter end? Will you be here until April? Or are you gonna pull out in
I actually
March?
leave here like the 1st of April, but then I go into town. I have a friend, JR, where I'm going to probably stay there for a month. Because it's even at the end of April.
You can't go back to Wisconsin. No. That would be a bad idea.
But my son's in the military, so I'm going to go down to Missouri
Cool.
and see him for a while on the way home.
Nice. Yeah, I don't think I'll stay that long. I think I'll be out of here probably mid-March, but I've got big travel plans for the summer, so.
Yeah, see, I just go from here back to Wisconsin. I have a cottage up there on the river, so.
Nice.
From the desert to the river.
Perfect.
It's kind of nice to be around water.
Well, Cecil, I want to thank you for your time and sharing your town with us. That was very cool. And your cool Z.
Car, yeah.
And yeah, I appreciate that. So, this is it, guys. This is a day of quirky things you find in the desert. Thanks for coming along. And let's just wrap up this day with the sun directly behind the peak of the mountain as it's setting. And I'm going to walk over here and give you tonight's view of how empty it has become. Well, as soon as we get Kit moving. Come on, Kit. So for weeks we had a Guy camped over here. No big deal. These two have been here for quite some time, those two vans. There was another van down there for a while. Look at that beautiful sky. See, I'm just doing this so you can see the beautiful sky. How about that? And this is the kind of quartzsite I enjoy. Oh, uh-oh. I see Bentley out there. That's Kit's friend. So we're going to come around this way so I can show you this and wrap up. And then I'm going to let Kit go see his friend Bentley because he loves Bentley. He has a special Bentley bark, actually. He kind of squeaks and squeals. It's very cute. And he only does it for Bentley, which is also very cute. All right, so last week, there were half a dozen rigs right in this little area right here. And see that Class A over there? That's been there pretty much all season. But from where that Class A is, that whole area straight down there, and look way down where those other two Class A's are. Way down there. Yeah. That entire area had RVs packed in like cordwood. And there's only the two of them left down there. Pretty interesting to see how that goes. So as always, thank you so much for coming along on our walks and our exploration today. We are very glad to have you every single time. There he is. There's Bentley. Here, you want a close-up of Bentley? There he is. Sorry, I'm zoomed in, so it's really kind of messy. But once again, thank you so much. We're going to let Kit have a little play date, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Wake up with the sun in our eyes. Sally forth, no need for goodbye.